Hi everyone, it's Laura Milligan, and it is Monday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and that's when I do my weekly Facebook Lives. So thank you for joining me. If you're there, say hello. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you had a good weekend. We had a really nice weekend. We kind of laid low, but had a little bit of fun as well. So it was a good weekend. So I have a couple things that I'm going to share with you today, and then I'm going to make three cards with a really cool idea that was shared with me by a demonstrator friend of mine. So stay tuned. If you're there, give me a shout out. Let me just check and see if anyone's hopped on yet. I know sometimes it takes a minute for people to find me, so I'll just wait a second. We had crazy weather yesterday. Um, High wind, and I there's trees down in our neighborhood. There's some people in our, actually just a block down, that lost power. We lost it for just a couple minutes, and luckily it came back on, but we have people that lost power, and they're saying they're not going to get their power back till perhaps Wednesday. So I'm so thankful that that didn't happen to us. Anyway, so there's Mary Jo and Susie Q. Hi, my friends. Thanks for joining in today. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera view down and start just talking about a few things. Okay, so first I wanted to mention a couple things that have been unorderable that are now available again. The first one, this is one of the online exclusives. This is from the Hello Irresistible Suite. This paper is gorgeous. You don't want to miss it. It coordinates beautifully with the Hello Irresistible bundle. And this is called Hello Irresistible. It's 6x6. There are dies in this bundle that where you can cut some of the different floral images, but this was unorderable. It's now available again, so I wanted to let you know about that. And then there were some other things that have been on back order, and I know I have some people waiting for some of these, so I wanted to make sure you knew about all of this. Oh, there's Renee. So Renee is not here today, and usually she comes to my rescue when I forget things. So Renee, hopefully I got it together today since you're not here to help me. But anyway, so the Dainty Delight bundle is now available again. This is the bundle that goes with the beautiful paper that we had during celebration, Dainty Flowers, that everybody wanted. It was one of the most popular offerings, and so this is the stamp set and the dies that go with that beautiful paper. That's on page 55 of our mini catalog. And then the other thing, I've had a lot of people waiting for this. This is the framed florets bundle, and this is the one that has the beautiful oval shaped dies, and then the beautiful stamps that coordinates with some really pretty fonts for the greetings and things. So that is available now. I know I had a couple people that have already ordered it when it became available again. The other one, of course, is my favorite bundle on my favorite page in the mini catalog, the Queen Bee. She was unorderable for quite a while, and she is back in stock now. So if you haven't ordered her yet, you definitely want to do that. This is the one, I think most of you that are watching know this, but this is the one that I got to design for hitting 1 million in sales. So that was very, very exciting, and I love it. I just like looking at it. Still kind of hard to believe that it's true. Anyway, okay, so those things, and then I wanted to mention, well, thanks, first of all, to all of you that ordered last week when I had that ordering special. Some of the surprise packages are already on their way to you in the mail. Some will probably go out today, so you can watch for those in your mail soon. I also wanted to mention, this is my host code for this week, for this month. It actually ends the end of March, and if you place an order of $50 or more using this host code, I will send you a hand-stamped card, of course, but then also a packet of, these are the gold faceted adhesive back sequins. I'm actually using these on our project today. So you can get a pack of those for free with a qualifying order. And if you ever wonder what my current host code is, if you just go to lauramilligan.com, that is my blog, lauramilligan.com. That should be pretty easy to remember. If you look in the sidebar, you will see my current host code. And so you want to use that, because if you use that, you usually get some kind of a fun gift. All right, I got some cards in the mail, so I'm going to share those with you. This is one from my sister. This reminds me of just like field of wildflowers. And of course she knows I love bees, so she stamped a little bee there. This one was one that I got in a swap, and it features the sea turtle, and it's like a tri-fold. Look how cool this is. She used, and you know what, I don't even remember who made this, who sent this to me, but she used the layering diorama, and there's the big sea turtle. Look how fun that is. I thought that was really creative. This one is from my friend Sue. Beautiful card. I always love navy and white. I think this might be Starry Sky. It kind of looks like it, but I thought that was a really, really beautiful card. And then this one is from my friend Sandra. And this is the Dainty Flowers designer paper I was talking about, that those dainty dies go with, that are now available to order. Okay. The other thing before I start stamping, I am offering a class to go. This is one that I do every month with my Canadian demonstrator friend, Sherry. And this one features By the Bay. It is a bundle. And if you love the beach like I do, you are not going to want to miss this. And even if you don't, the colors of this are just gorgeous and soothing. And this is the stamp set. These are the dies. And the neat thing, of course, about this, a lot of the dies coordinate with the stamped images. And you can also use some of these dies to cut things directly from the designer paper, like the crab, there's shells, the bird, this big shell with a pearl in it. I love the words in this one. You are a pearl, rare and precious, heartfelt sympathy, and thank you for everything. So if you purchase just the basic class, it's $45, and it includes card kits to make 6 cards plus a bonus project. Beautiful ribbon. This ribbon is so thin and nice and easy to work with. Get a full bolt of that. You will get the flat adhesive back pearls, which are part of this suite, and then a pack of the paper. And I did not pull out, I have a piece, I have a little packet with all the papers, but I'm just going to flip through this so you can see kind of quickly. That looked like shiplap, doesn't it? And this is specialty paper, which means that there are some shiny special things like the gold and that sort of thing. These are just bits and pieces. You can tell I love this paper and have been using it. So that class registration closes April 3rd. I've already had a great response, so thank you to those that have already ordered, reserved your spot, and don't miss this class. It is a good one. You'll get kits to make, I think I already said this, but 6 cards plus a simple but cute bonus project. So that's my current class offering to go. So what I want to make today, this is something that we made at my retreat last weekend, and like I said, I got this idea from a demonstrator friend of mine. I believe it was Mary Nabe, and she's a very talented lady, and she shared an idea with this, and I took her idea and ran with it because I thought it was such a great idea. It uses the Delicate Desert bundle, and let me just show you. So you can see here are the gold faceted adhesive back sequins. This is the bundle, and there's beautiful paper, the dry brushed metallic paper, and then the Delicate Desert paper. So let me just show you. So what we're going to do is start with, well, first, you know what, let me show you, because I think it's always better in person. These are the patterns, and you can see these are like specialty paper. They're super, super sparkly. This is the dry brushed metallic paper, and that's what I'm going to use for part of my card. And then also the Delicate Desert paper. And let me just show you these patterns. Love that gray one. Look how pretty all these colors are. They do remind you of the desert, right? Okay, so let me flip this over. And there's the back side. Really fun patterns. I love this one too. That's pretty too. Okay, so let me tuck this back in its little envelope. And what we did was, the paper's always better in person, isn't it? Okay, so what I did was I took 2 of the dies and I put them inside each other. I put the smaller frame inside the larger one, and then you can see I use Post-it notes to hold it together, and I ran it through my die cutting machine. This piece is 4 by 5 1/4, and I've already done this morning as I was getting things set up, but let me just show you by using these 2 dies. Let me just pop them out of here. You end up with these 3 pieces. So you can see how, maybe you can see better from this side. Let me hold this up. So there's 2 separate dies here, each frames, and by positioning them together with a couple Post-it notes, you end up with these 3 pieces, and I'm going to use these to make 3 different cards today. So let me pull out my pieces. And so what I did, so like, I wanted to show you this because I thought it was worth mentioning. So when I have an event, a class, or if I'm just making multiple cards of the same design, I set things up on my Stamparatus because it's easier. This is something that I learned. This was one of the tips when we first came out with the Stamparatus, that somebody shared this with us. And so what I've done is taken the die for this flower image, and I just cut 10, 15, 20, however many you need. And then I've got it set up on my Stamparatus. So what you do, because you know what, it's so much quicker. Is this going to go in here? You know what? I think this is backwards. No, maybe I just don't have it right. Do I? I think it's backwards. I don't know what I did. Renee, where are you? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know why it doesn't fit, but it should. Hold on, let me take a look at my dies. I don't know. Well, anyway, so basically, luckily I already have these stamped. Basically, you would create a template and put your flower image in. You'd see if this one fits. I may just have the wrong die for that one. Yeah, so there we go. All right. There we go. Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. Here we go. It's Monday Bloopers with Laura again. There we go. I just didn't have it lined up properly. So you can see how that fits in the die. That helped. Okay, yeah, you guys could all see it. Turn your template around. Flip the paper over. Okay. So now I'm just going to add some color, and I'm using Calypso Coral. I think sometimes when you're so close to it like I was, you just can't see it. So there you have a perfectly stamped flower, and it's a lot quicker to just, run your die cut through our die cutting machine without having to worry about lining up the stamped image. So I do that a lot, especially when I'm holding events. So that's how I did that. And you can see here's the template for the smaller flower as well. So I just wanted to point that out to you. Okay, and I thought this paper looked really pretty with the pop of Calypso Coral. So that's what I did for these cards. And then I'll show you the other ones that we did where we used the Calypso paper, the Calypso specialty paper. Okay, so this first card, I'm going to use this small piece here, and I am going to just stamp. The other thing that I love about this Desert Detail stamps that are the words sending warm rays your way. We need that on a day like today, right? Your smile is pure magic. Let the fun begin. And then you are what sunshine feels like. I love that. I love your smile is pure magic. That's probably my favorite. And I'm going to use it on this card front. So I am going to take Evening Evergreen ink and get my stamp. And I'm just going to stamp this down here. Let's see if I can get it straight from this angle. Okay, that looks pretty good. And that's all the stamping I'm going to do on this card. So then I'm going to take this piece, and look how pretty it looks up against the white. I think it's so, so pretty. And I'm going to take some linen thread. I have some scraps here. Let's see, I need probably a longer piece. Okay, well, we'll just make this work. So I'm going to tuck this right in this little groove here. And I wrapped it around twice. like this. Now this piece may not be long enough for what I want to do, but I'm going to make it work. So what I'm going to do is just go to the back here and add some dimensionals. And that's going to just hold that in place on the back for me. And then I'm going to pop up each of the corners as well. You know, usually I just throw the backs of these dimensionals on the floor, and I will clean them up later. But since I just vacuumed out here this morning, I'm going to wait. I'm going to try to be a little bit more careful, I guess. Okay, and I'm going to put another dimensional here, like that. And I'm going to snip this off, and I'll position this just right here above my words and just kind of centered on the whole panel. All right, then what I'm going to do is take another piece of linen thread and just tie a bow. That's going to be tucked under my flowers. Originally I had done this in one piece, but my linen, I have just some scraps of linen thread here right now. So I'm going to take a glue dot and just adhere this, the knot of my linen thread. And I'm just going to tuck that there. And then what I'll do is take these two pieces. This is soft succulent, and I use the little leafy sprig to cut that out. And that's just going to go here. And I'm actually going to tuck it under my linen thread. And when I do things like this, I never like put glue on the whole thing. I like that it's kind of loose. And you can even take your hands and curve it a little bit. So I'm just going to put a little dab of glue at the bottom of this. I have a new bottle of glue today. That's kind of fun. So I'm just going to tuck this under here. Probably, you know what, I'm going to put it, because my flower is going to take up, yeah, so I can put that over here so that this white, that the green hangs over that white edge. I think that looks pretty. And then I'm just going to tack this on here with some dimensionals again. Oops. And I'm just going to put that about right there like that. Okay. And there is card number 1. Oh, but I forgot to add my gems. I'm going to snip this a little bit. New pair of paper snips, nothing like them, right? Okay, and for this one, I just put one little sequin right after my words there. And I love any of our embellishments that have glue on the back, glue dots on the back. So I'm going to put that right there like that. Okay, so there's card number 1. When I'm done, I'm going to bring all 3 of them in and show them to you side by side. Okay, my next card. Let me get the parts and pieces out. So this one is going to use a large and a small flower. I've got my card base here in the envelope. Wait. There we go. Okay, so here's my thick white card base, which I find, for me, it's probably my go-to card base. I use a lot of white. I just like the clean look of it. Okay, so for this card, I'm going to use the largest piece, the outside piece. So this was 4 by 5 1/4. This is the outside piece, and then I've cut a piece of the other designer paper, just the regular paper that goes with this suite. Let me look at the name again because I forget. Delicate Desert. These are both 12 by 12s. So this is going to just be glued right to this. I cut this it's 4 by 5 1/4, but I just cut it a titch smaller so that it wouldn't show over the edges. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Marva. Hi, Becky. Hi, Sarah. Okay. So I'm going to just put a thin bead of glue just around the edge here, and this will hold this fancy frame in place. And I like using this glue because it gives you a little bit of a chance to wiggle if you don't get it lined up just right. But because I cut this just a titch smaller, it goes together pretty well. You can see how it's just a little bit smaller. Okay, so I'm gonna attach that just to the front here of my card. And again, I love it against the white. I just think it makes it look crisp and clean. Did any of you lose power over the weekend? Gosh, it was just crazy. Crazy here. Okay, so I'm going to put that in place. I'll give that a second, press that in place. And then I'm going to take a circle, and this is from the Stylish Shape circle, or Stylish Shape dies, and this is one of the circles, and it has like paper piercing around it. And for this one, I'm going to do You Are What Sunshine Feels Like. Sometimes in Ohio, we forget what sunshine feels like, don't we? No, we've had some actually beautiful sunny days recently. Okay, so there's my words, You Are What Sunshine Feels Like. And then I'm going to take my flowers. And I could do another piece of that succulent leaf like I did on the first one, but I did not do that for this one. I just kept it kind of simple. I'm going to take another piece of my linen thread and just tie a bow. I love linen thread. It's a go. This and white baker's twine, I think it's a go-to when you just want a little bit of something on your project. Okay, and I'm just going to run my hands across this to get it to straighten out a bit. And I'm going to take a glue dot and put it right on the knot of the bow. Oh, that's right, Colleen. I saw that your fence fell over. My goodness. The wind was crazy. Okay, so I'm going to glue this circle down. Yeah, it was really windy. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm just going to add the beautiful flowers. So one's going to be here, one's going to be here. Isn't this pretty? I will say this is probably not my usual style of card, but I love these. I have fallen in love with this paper and the flowers and of course the words. I think it's a win-win combination. Okay, and I'll put 2 here. And then let's just put these in place. And then this one is just going to rest on top of that. And then we'll add some embellishments. Okay, so there we have that. And then the embellishments, let me bring those in here again. Take your pick tool, and I'm going to use 3 different shapes on this. So I love this teardrop shape. I think it's really cool. I'm going to put that there. Of course, you could do this any way you want, but I just thought that was really pretty. And then I'm going to do another round sequin. I'll put that right there, and then smaller sequin. And I'll just put that right there. Okay, so there's card number 2. So pretty. All right, one more with these products, and this one, okay, let me see if I can pull it out here. My parts and pieces. Okay. Okay, so for this one, I've already got one in here, but this is the smaller frame. Okay, so that's going to be there. And I have used another little piece of the designer paper that coordinates. Actually, you could probably use either side. but I chose the gray side. I just like the look of that. So, and then I have my words, my little word panel. Here's another one of these. Now that I know how to put it in the Stamparatus, right? I can make another card. Okay. It's kind of like I used to do live theater, and years ago, that's actually how I met my husband. And, it's kind of, this Facebook Live is sort of like live theater because you never know what's going to happen when you'd go live. So, okay, I'm going to then just attach, this is going to just fit right over here, and I'm going to add just a little bead of glue around the designer paper, and then I'll put my metallic frame. Yeah, I agree. I think these cards are just strikingly beautiful. I love the combination of the colors and the specialty metallic shininess. Okay, so I've just added a little bead of glue all around this edge. And these are cool too, because look how when you die cut these parts are like really detailed and cut out that little zigzag thing. Okay, so I'm going to position this in place. Just like that. Move it down a little bit. Cover up all my glue. Okay. All right. I'm going to flip this over and give it a press from this way as well. Okay. I'm going to start with this, and I am going to pop this up. So I'll get out my dimensionals again, and I'll just put one in each corner. And I'll put one in the middle as well. Can never have enough dimensionals. Okay. So now I'm going to put this on the center here. Just center that. Okay. And then I am going to take some linen thread again. I'm just using up some scraps that I have here. And I'm going to put 2 of these together and tie a double bow for this card. So I'm just going to line them up. And I always had people ask me about how I do this. I think they're overthinking it, because basically all you do is put 2 strands together. This is the same if it would be ribbon, linen thread, baker's twine, and you just act like it's one piece. Just pretend like you have one piece and just tie it like you would a regular bow. And it just makes it, the linen thread is kind of thin, which I like, but it just makes it a little bit more substantial. And then if you want to, you can pull on one of the ends. Wait, let's see here. Let me adjust this first. You can pull on one of the strands here if you want to make the loops a little bit smaller or different sizes, so they kind of layer on top of each other. Okay. Yeah, Colleen says, I need to add twine to more of my cards. It's just a little simple touch, but okay, I'm going to leave that on that glue dot for a minute, and I'm going to do my stamping. And so for this one, I used Sending Warm Rays Your Way, and I just have a little strip of paper, and this also is going to be done in Evening Evergreen. So let me get this here. Oh, it's so crooked. Let me flip it over. I need to pull this more towards me so I can see what I'm doing. Let's see if I do better. There, that's a lot better. It's kind of hard to do it sometimes when it's so far in front of you. And then what I'm going to do is take my new paper snips. If you haven't gotten paper snips in a while, what are you waiting for? The difference in an old pair and a new pair is crazy. Okay, so now I'm going to just layer this up. So I'm going to take this, and first thing I'm going to do is just attach my words, and I just glued this flat onto this panel. No one will know that I had to flip the paper over, right? And that there's a really crooked attempt on the back of this. That'll be our little secret. Okay, so I have that on there. Then I'm going to add my little soft succulent flower or leaves. I wonder if it's like a cactus or something. I don't know, but just a desert succulent, I bet. That's what we'll call it. Soft succulent, and it's a desert succulent. So I'm going to turn this a little bit like that. Okay, just like that. And then I will add my flower, and it's going to just sort of overlap that whole thing. I'm going to pop this up. Okay, I'm going to put that there. I'm going to go ahead and let this flower go over the edge of my framed image. I love how that looks. And then I'm just going to go grab my double bow here. And you know, I always like to sort of pull the ends, the loops down. I don't know if you can see that, and that's just going to be tucked right under there, like that. And then I'll take my paper snips again and snip the edges. And then I'll just add my embellishments. And then I'm going to bring in all three of these cards, and then I'll show you the other color combination, which I think is just as striking. So don't miss these dies and this gorgeous paper. This is in our mini catalog, and it is just striking. And like I've just shown you, you can, run the paper with the 2 die cut frames through your die cutting machine one time, and you'll have the base for 3 different cards. I'm going to put that one there. I love the gold with that. I think it's so pretty. Okay, so let me bring in my 3 cards. So here's the first one. I'm going to hold this up so you can see it. You Are What Sunshine Feels Like. This used the biggest frame. Your Smile is Pure Magic. This uses the inner piece, the smallest piece. And then this uses the middle size frame, Sending Warm Rays Your Way. And I think these cards are just beautiful, and I hope that you do as well. And I want to show you, this is the other color combination. So in this pack of paper, the specialty paper, you get these, like the blues and the golds, and then you also get the corals and the golds. So I'm going to, and I'll lay those right with this so you can see them all. Let me get this out of the way here. Let me get organized a minute. Okay, so here are my cards in the blues. And then here is this one, You Are What Sunshine Feels Like. Look how pretty that one is. Sending Warm Rays Your Way. And there you can see it in the coral colors and the blues. Also so pretty. And then Your Smile is Pure Magic. Here are the 2 of those in the different color combinations. So which do you like better? I don't know. I actually like them both. I just think, like I said, this is outside my comfort zone. I don't use a lot of this metallic fancy paper, but I will say I love these. I think they are just absolutely gorgeous. So my special of the month, like I said, with a $50 order, if you use this host code, you will get a pack of these beautiful sequins that I've used on these cards. I encourage you to get this paper. I think it is just gorgeous, and I'm just going to flip back up and get organized here a minute. Okay, so thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed these cards. I think it's a really great way to use your die cutting system really smartly and wisely, and I hope you'll give it a try. I thank you for joining me, and I will look forward to seeing you next Monday. Bye-bye, everyone. And of course, I hope you have time to be creative today. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.